All right, challenge. So don't run into the comments and start crying right away. Listen to what I'm going to say about Tom McDonald because I'm really starting to peel back the psychology behind this. And I think we have a lot of places where we can agree. So he got really popular. He's really circulating around conservative media spaces right now. And I want to try to draw a connection between this side of having a distaste with the system and the other side. Because when I see the spoken word like poems Tom MacDonald did like 2 years ago, this is so similar. And it has the same exact topics as I see these college kids coming out with. These free verse spoken word poems where they're railing against society, railing against the system, wanting more. They don't want to just be another cog in the machine. They know the entire working class is being oppressed. They know that we're taught to be a certain way, but we need to break out of it. So, what Tom MacDonald does right here may relate to those SJWs that you hate more than you think.
I got away from all the chains they tried to lock me up with. I wasn't made for 9 to 5s or working in construction. I never fit the system, my description is the suspect. I gave him all the finger, then I rode into the sunset. And I don't want to be promoted, I don't need to raise a buck. And I don't want the Christmas bonus or the new company truck. Keep that silly uniform I had to wash and dry. I'm not a brick that's in your wall, but you're a thorn that's in my side. I was born to not comply with all the orders and defy all of the horrors I survived. I feel like normal's a disguise, and I don't want an application or a half an hour lunch or a cubicle to work a job that I don't even love. My veins are full of gasoline, my motor's made of stolen parts. I've tightened all the nuts and bolts, but I don't want to work on cars.
So what he's talking about at the beginning is employers, they killed unions. So like workers can't come together and demand better in their jobs. But in order to keep people in these shitty positions, companies will come out. They'll say like, "Hey, keep the job. We'll give you a company car. Maybe we'll give you a little bit of a raise." For example, Amazon workers were about to unionize a couple years ago, and in order to stop workers from coming together and demanding real power, Amazon said, "You know what? Fine, we'll do a $15 minimum wage." So they'll do stuff like that in order to keep on maintaining, them having all the power in the system. And Tom MacDonald realizes this, that real regular people have no control over what's happening. And he's saying, I don't want to be inside your system. And we talk about like college kids wanting to go for like a social science or something, or like wanting to go for like poetry or like, I don't know, some type of art degree for college or whatever. Literally, Tom MacDonald right here wants the exact same thing, but in his own way. He doesn't like this normal system of society. He wants to break out of the normal ways of how you're supposed to live life, and he wants to do things his own way. He understands what's happening. He does. He is like a, this is titled Anarchy. This is a really anarchist thing to say, which is why he sounds sometimes like he's on the right, sometimes like he's on the left, because anarchists sort of go back and forth along it's hard to really pin them down on a ideological scale because they hate every system, every hierarchy whatsoever. That's why he makes like straight white male, and then he makes if I was black, because he just hates everything that is controlling people, basically. And he doesn't have any, like, you can't pin him down for one political belief, and that's for a reason.
System's trying to smother me, but anarchy is in my heart. They slash my tires and cut my brakes. I'll crash now if it even starts. My boss don't even know that I make music he would care about. He thinks I'm just some stoner stacking boxes in a warehouse. I got dreams and goals and things I'm told are worth to keep aspiring. When music is my full-time job, then nobody can fire me. But right now it ain't hiring. My groceries expiring. My rent is due. My phone is off. The extra shifts are tiring. I know I'm made for more than what my resume reflects. The government is trying to dumb me down with guns and booze and sex. I'm not a salesman. I couldn't sell beer in the prohibition. I've never been the type to make a living off commission.
That's a good line, by the way. I couldn't sell beer during Prohibition. He couldn't sell beer during a time when beer was banned, when it was like at all-time demand levels because it was banned completely in like America.
Good at wearing suits or doing taxes for a business. I want to count some money, not the hours and the minutes. I'm not a carpenter, a lawyer, a doctor. I'm not a waiter or a teacher or a cop or a plumber. I'm not a tradesman or an architect, an engineer, a pilot or a mailman. I'm something that don't fit into their perfect little game plan. I'm me. And they can try to kill my spirit with overtime when the barn burns. But if there's one thing I ain't scared of, it is long days and hard work. So they can pay themselves.
Like, I really sympathize with this. I'm from a really poor area, a really poor white area, which I know that's where he's from too. I looked up where he was born and all that stuff and where he grew up. But like, I really understand what he's saying here. But I want you to really reach out and think. Like, when you see somebody who is maybe a woman in college who's going to give, a passionate free verse poem about how she doesn't fit in the boxes she's supposed to fit in. I want you to look at her poetry in the same way that you look at this poetry. I want you to be able to understand that both sides really are together in a sense. You both are looking at systems of struggle, systems of, oppression that are controlling everybody. And I've said in other videos, which you hated, that things are a little bit different. Things are a little bit complicated for different races, for different, socioeconomic positions, different areas. Things are very, very complex. But overall, these things are controlling us. We can't control them. All this wealth in the globe, it doesn't really matter if like there's a couple billionaires that own a bunch of like nice cars and shit. That doesn't matter. The issue with wealth, the issue with billionaires is that these people have this much capital to have so much power in our system to control us. And all the stuff he's complaining about, they are symptoms of capitalism. Whoever has the most money, capitalism literally means if you have more capital, you control how society operates. So capital owners own the government, capital owners own your paycheck. You're going to go work at Amazon for a shit wage. You're going to buy shit from Amazon. You're going to buy groceries from Amazon. Amazon's going to kill every other business in town, and you have no chance to stand up because, capitalism has made it so that we killed unions in America. We killed unions in Canada too. All around the globe, they don't want workers to organize. They don't want regular people to actually have power. And this is happening over and over and over again, but we keep on being divided. And this is my big criticism of Tom, is his new music is divisive. You might like it. You might like just yelling, I'm not going to be canceled. Everybody's going to hate me. I don't really care. And, blaming like one side of the political aisle for canceling people because obviously that's pointed at the left. People on the right don't cancel people. I criticize him for that because I know, and also I don't criticize him for it at the same time, because I know this is getting him clicks. And like he's saying here, I do respect somebody who's trying to put food on the table, trying to get that paycheck, trying to do like a formula that works. This formula does work to get a lot of big numbers. He's going number 1 on iTunes. This new song, Canceled, is at like number 4 right now on the charts. I respect that. But when it comes to the final goal of uniting us all, this really hurts our ability to have conversations, I think. Like, I critiqued a couple things about his song, and literally in the comments, nobody wanted to actually have a good conversation. A couple people did come out and join my Discord and have good conversations, but they just assumed off the bat because I was wearing my glasses, because I was pointing out social justice issues, that I was a SJW, when in reality, I'm very, very far away from that. Although I do stand up for these issues, I am not that freaking stereotype. If you knew where I'm from, if you knew how I was brought up, if you knew any of that shit, you wouldn't be saying that. But you still make these, you put me into a box in the same way you would hate if someone else put Tom into a box or put you into a box. So this shit, if you're really about unity, it needs to go both ways. We can't do no more one side's bullshit because it is really rich people versus, haves, people who have shit versus people who don't have shit. It is really, that's how the system is set. But this is something that does divide us. Like, not, this poem is great, by the way. This is amazing, this Anarchy thing. Probably one of my favorite, it probably is my favorite Tom Macdonald song, actually, if you consider it a song, but it's my favorite piece of work from him. But like the Canceled and Fake Woke, that's for clicks. That's not for coming together. And I hope you can, like I said, pick and choose when to be like an internet troll and when you actually are serious about uniting, because this is some real shit, honestly.
A dollar, well, I only make a cent, but I will get a pilot or a mailman. I'm something that don't fit into their perfect little game plan. I'm me. And they can try to kill my spirit with overtime when the barn burns. But if there's one thing I ain't scared of, it is long days and hard work. So they can pay themselves a dollar while I only make a cent, but I will stack up.
That's what I was saying, dude. If you have money, it multiplies. In the stock market, if you're born with $10 million, if I had that much money, I can easily multiply that in a day on the stocks, dude. On the stock market investing. Once you have money, you make money. People who don't have money don't make money. There's people right now not working, but they're sitting at a desk. They push one button a day, and they make more money in an hour than a working class person makes it in an entire year. But that working class person is taught to think the rich people at the top actually work when they don't. So like Jeff Bezos, for example, well, we talk about taxing him more. Oh, we can't tax him. He worked hard for that. He didn't work hard for shit. He started his company great, but to have what, $250 billion more money than 320 million Americans combined. No man can work that hard. Those 320 million Americans at the bottom, all the police officers, all the firefighters, all of janitors, all the teachers, all the nurses, every profession you can freaking think of combined makes less than one person owns. And like I said before, it's not just material, but it is material in a sense, but it's about power. That's why we're losing our government. That's why we're losing this. Capitalism let a select few people get too much money, and now those people have control of everything. And they pay us shit wages and tell us to take it, tell us to own it, and tell us to respect people and bow down to our masters. As if this is some type of royal situation where we have kings residing
My
over us.
pennies till they're higher than the fence, then I'll climb them like a ladder. But if there's one thing I ain't scared of, it is long days and hard work. So they can pay themselves $1 while I only make a cent. But I will stack up all my pennies till they're higher than the fence, then I'll climb them like a ladder and jump to the other side. Spend the nickels that I made on a taxi or hitch a ride. Bet they never thought they'd see the day I left them to survive and use the system that they built to leave their system all behind.
Maybe this is a product of somebody finds a formula, he wants to make money, and his stuff got bad, I guess. Like at least in my opinion. I know you people like the music. I don't like the music. I like a couple songs, like I said. Overall, I don't like it. It's repetitive. It's the same topic for the past 2 years. It's not my cup of tea anymore. Like, it's so overdone, dude. But this stuff, when he was still like a starving artist, still starting, this stuff is pretty good, I think. Especially the spoken word pieces. It really lets me understand what he is actually thinking without all the glamour and all the social media hype or whatever. So yeah, hopefully you checked this out and liked it. Thank you for giving my other videos such a big boost in the algorithm. We got some cool people on board. Hopefully you could be one of them moving into the future. We can all be adults. We can all have conversations. We can all work through these things. And again, if you want to talk, the Discord will be somewhere in the links or not links, somewhere in the comments or description. So